Hello, a very warm welcome to Quest Zero. In continuation to our discussions on the measurements of and metrology, continuing the topic temperature measurement, we'll today look into what thermocouples are. So thermocouples are nothing but another set of devices which are employed for measuring the temperature. But in order to understand a thermocouple and its working, we are supposed to go through a few more concepts. Okay, these are called as thermoelectric effects. So what are these thermoelectric effects? There are three effects which constitute the thermoelectric effects. The first effect is Seebeck effect, the Peltier effect, and Thomson effect. So these three together constitute the thermoelectric effects. So understanding of these three is very much important to understand the working of a thermocouple. What is Seebeck effect? So Seebeck is, all three are based on the scientists who discovered the effects. So Seebeck, he determined that when two dissimilar metals are connected and they form two junctions, if the temperature of these two junctions, that is T1 and T2, are different, then an EMF will be generated. So whenever you have two dissimilar metals connected to conducting metals, so when you connect them and it forms two junctions, you don't connect them at only one junction, you connect them at two junctions, and when the temperature of these two junctions which are formed are different, then the circuit produces an EMF. So this is called as a Seebeck effect. So considering the small schematic diagram, let A be one metal and B represent the other metal, and these two are now connected to form junctions 1 and 2. So because of the connection between these two dissimilar metals also, there is a small amount of EMF that gets generated. We'll discuss it later, which is related to the Peltier effect. But when this entire circuit or the connection of two dissimilar metals are subjected to two different temperatures. For example, on the left side you have a flame which increases the temperature of junction 2. On the right side you have, for example, a controlled flame, a gas stove, wherein it also increases the temperature of junction 1. But remember, the temperature of junction 1 and temperature of junction 2 are not same. So hence, because of this temperature difference, an EMF will be generated. If you observe the voltmeter, it shows a reading because of the temperature difference that has generated. This is a small animation wherein you can observe the increase in the voltage because of the EMF being generated. Next, what is Peltier effect? So Peltier effect, it says that when a current is passed through a circuit containing two junctions of two dissimilar metals, one junction gets heated while the other gets cooled. So this can be also conversely said that whenever you have two junction dissimilar metals connected, a small amount of current also gets generated because of the connection of the dissimilar metals, and because of this current there is a small amount of EMF also which gets generated. So the Seebeck effect, as we saw, was primarily due to two effects which constituted the Seebeck effect. One effect was the Peltier effect and the other effect was the Thomson effect. So Peltier effect, as we see, it creates an EMF, but it is very less. This is a very small animation denoting the Peltier effect. So you can observe that whenever the current starts flowing in the circuit of two metals connected to form two junctions 1 and 2, metal A and metal B connected to form junctions 1 and 2, whenever the current is flowing through the circuit, the temperature of both the junctions, one will be get heated. For example, in this case, 2 is getting heated and 1 is getting cooled. Okay. So next effect, Thomson effect. It says that an EMF is generated due to the existing temperature gradient in a single conducting wire. So there is no junctions formed or dissimilar metals connected in this, but a single conducting wire, because of the temperature gradient throughout its length, an EMF is being generated, and this EMF is very small. Hence, this could be sometimes ignored when you try to calculate the EMF generated for a thermocouple. Okay. So now we'll see or define what a thermocouple is. So as we have spoken before, thermocouple is a device which measures the temperature, and it is based on the principle of Seebeck effect, wherein the EMF is getting generated because of the two dissimilar metals forming two different junctions, and those two junctions being at two different temperatures. So if you look at the figure now, taking the same metal A and metal B as dissimilar metals joined to form junctions 1 and 2. In the figure, if you observe, junction 1 creates a temperature T2 and junction 2 creates a temperature T1, and because of this change in temperatures at two junctions, there is an voltage being generated. So now, considering the amount of voltage that is being generated, you can say that the amount of temperature difference between the two junctions are so and so. So for taking this principle, to measure the temperature, what we generally do is, we will make one of these two junctions a constant or a value that could be determined. So for example, junction 1, it will be treated as a reference junction, wherein the heat being supplied to at junction 1 can be controlled, thereby controlling or keeping the temperature at junction 1 as a reference or known temperature. At junction 2, a flame which is just burning, we don't know what is the temperature of it. So now what is the temperature at junction 2 can be determined. T1 temperature can be determined when you know the value of T2, that is the temperature at junction 1. So this is the working of a thermocouple, and there are two laws of thermocouple which are of very importance. The first law is called as law of intermediate metals, and the second law is called as law of intermediate temperatures. So considering the law of intermediate metals, it states that inserting an intermediate metal into a thermocouple circuit will not affect the net EMF that is being generated from the circuit, provided those two junctions, newly created junctions because of the third metal, it should be at identical temperatures. What does this mean? It says you can add a new dissimilar metal to the existing two dissimilar metals, but it should be made sure that the two junctions that the third metal creates, it should be at same or identical temperature. For example, if you consider the figure, now there is a third metal C which is being introduced. This C will create two new junctions 3 and 4, but the temperature at these two new junctions 3 and 4 should be same, that is T3 itself. It should not be different. So this is called as law of intermediate metals, and the introduction of intermediate metal can also be done at a junction. So this existing junction now will create two more junctions, and these two junctions should be at identical temperatures. For example, T2 itself on the right side. What advantage this particular arrangement gives is, we can connect a measuring device to that particular junction and easily obtain the readings. So this is the advantage of law of intermediate metals in thermocouples. So the next law of intermediate temperature, it states that if a simple thermocouple circuit develops an EMF E1 when its junction temperatures are at T1 and T2, and an EMF E2 when its junction temperatures are at T2 and T3, then an EMF equal to the sum of EMFs of the previous two arrangements will result when the junction temperatures are at T1 and T3. So this diagram will give you a better idea. For example, T1, which is represented by the temperature at junction 1, represented by an yellow dot, or you can say that the temperature being medium, T2 being a very cool temperature at junction 2. This creates an EMF. If you observe the voltmeter, let's take the reading to be as 5 units, 5 volts. Okay, so it creates 5 volts. But when the junction temperatures 1 and 2 are now at T2 and T3, T2 being cool and T3 being the hottest, then it creates an EMF equal to 10 units, which is shown in the figure 2. Now the law of intermediate temperature says when the temperature of these junctions are at T1 and T3, which is like warm and hottest, then the EMF generated will be equal to sum of the previous two arrangements, that is 5 plus 10 equal to 15. So if you observe the needle in the voltmeter, it is getting incremented by 555 units. In the first arrangement, E1, if we consider it to be 5 volts, in the second arrangement, if we consider it to be 10 volts, then sum of 5 plus 10, which is 15 volts, is represented in the third arrangement. So this concludes what are thermocouples and laws of thermocouples. There are other important things to discuss which will be taken up in the next sessions, which include the insulating materials, the materials used for thermocouples, and applications of it. Okay, thank you. And if you like the video, please do subscribe, press on the bell icon to get continuous updates on the videos that is being uploaded, as well as share among the community. Thank you.